Con Guy Show. We are your home for news, opinions, and interviews from the world of Comic Cons and fandoms. Your ultimate insiders for all things con! Hey, everybody. It is the 50th birthday party of the summer blockbuster that actually started summer blockbusters. Jaws, the movie that scared everybody out of the ocean all the way back in 1975, 50 years. And the party is taking place right in the spot where they filmed it. Something's beeping. Anyways, there's a party going on in Martha's Vineyard. Our guest tonight is someone who is not only intimately involved with the events of that week. His name is Mr. Michael Smith, but he has his own show that you guys should be checking out, and he's the author of FINATICS, 50 Years of Jaws, and he's going to be very much filling us in on our last-minute trip to Martha's Vineyard. Michael, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. Good to see you guys. Hope everyone's well.
Things are going well. Things are going well. I know that you how many weeks we have? 4 weeks? 4 weeks through 5 weeks. Look, okay, Michael, let's just get down to brass tacks. What is the date of the birthday party that's happening over in Martha's Vineyard?
June 20 through 22, right?
36 days, 3 hours, 48 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Oh my gosh! Wait. Let's
down.
go. Oh, you got the
Look at
countdown.
that. Whoa,
Where's
there's
this
a
at?
countdown. Officially.
I want one of those.
Yeah, that's mine. That's jaws-50.com is the site. Yeah, I put that up like a year and a half ago. So
perfect.
It's been counting down for a long time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But like for real, thank you so much for coming back on. Tell us, so folks who don't know, tell us about your book again.
It is called FINATICS, 50 Years of Jaws. And it covers two aspects, covers all the different pop culture influences Jaws has had on films and television, books, magazines, legitimate theater. I've got a chapter on The Shark is Broken, on Bruce, the ill-fated musical, memorabilia, tattoos, a lot of great fan art.
Tattoos.
And then I salute 50 fans.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, people that have amazing tattoos. I don't have a tattoo.
Yeah.
I always thought if I got a tattoo, I would, I'm too old for it now. It would look horrible. When I was younger, it would be, I don't know if I can pan this up a little bit without messing up my camera. I'm sure I will. But there it is, the picture behind me here, the big three in the shark jaws.
That's the best.
That would be my, that would be the tattoo I'd get on my back.
That'd be awesome.
And people would
You
just
don't
go,
want it
wow,
on your forehead?
Well,
cool tattoo. Well, when I was going to get a tattoo, I didn't have a forehead. I had hair. So,
well, Michael,
there's
people that are your age and my age, we're probably around the same age. We don't have to worry about stretching those tattoos anymore. So just get it. It's going to look exactly the same the rest of your life.
One day.
All right. So anyways, we are here to talk about the big 50th anniversary celebration happening in Martha's Vineyard. What are the dates again? It's June. You just told us June 20.
The official date is June 20th, which is the 50th anniversary.
Yep.
Actually, things are kicking off on June 19th. We are doing our show, Let's Talk Jaws Live. The jazz hands up there. From the Martha's Vineyard Museum. It's a charity benefit to raise money for the museum. It's sold out. We've got a bunch of guests coming by. We got Joe Al's coming by. We got Jeff Kramer, Tom Dunlop, Gary Springer, Gigi Vorgan, other special guests to be announced.
Wow.
So we're officially kicking it off. The island's main, it's called homecoming week or weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it runs from the 20th through the 23rd, actually through Monday. There are a lot of great events. I sent you the flyer. I'm doing a book signing at Acretown Books.
Well, we got it.
Joe Alves is doing.
Yeah.
Ryan Dacko is doing one. Ira Marks, who's great if you have a young adult in the family. His book, Shark Summer.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's Christopher Shaw below me.
Yep.
Robert Shaw's nephew.
Christopher Shaw, author of Robert Shaw, An Actor's Life on the Set of Jaws and Beyond.
Yeah. And that's just one of the events. There's Thursday night also on the 19th, the Martha's Vineyard Sharks. It's their kind of like Cape Cod League baseball team. That night, they're the Amity Sharks. They are playing a team called the Quints. There's doing Jaws Live in the Park with an orchestra on the water. And then Sunday is the big, what they're calling the reunion day at the museum, on the lawn of the museum. It's just all kinds of great stuff planned.
Yeah, that's cool. You're going to be, and the thing is, like, are you aware of any screenings happening that week?
They are screening, I believe it's Friday night. Laurent Boudreau, I can never pronounce his name, who did the great Jaws documentary and just did the Music by John Williams documentary. He's been working with National Geographic for about 18 months, and they're premiering a documentary they did on the 50th anniversary of Jaws. That'll be playing at the Performing Arts Center at the high school, which is a lot bigger than Martha's Vineyard Playhouse. Martha's Vineyard Playhouse, July 5th. The Shark is Broken opens there.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to see a movie, play about the making of Jaws, where they made Jaws, that's that's a great, years ago, Netflix did the Rolling Road show, and they showed like Jaws on the beach, Escape from Alcatraz and Alcatraz. My wife and son and I, we went up to Dyersville, Iowa, and we watched Field of Dreams on the Field of Dreams. And it's just a cool experience. I can imagine watching Jaws on the water, which we did in 2005, was great up in Martha's Vineyard. But to see the play and the actors interact and know this all happened just right outside it's going to be a great time.
I know that out here in California, we have a number of celebrations that are getting ready to gear up. The Hollywood Bowl, of course, is doing the John Williams live music to Jaws on the big screen, which would be great. I know Alamo Draft House, both here and in Texas, are having Jaws on the water. They're doing some water-based Jaws. The thing that's Luke and I just attended Universal Studios. They do these Fan Fest nights, and they were celebrating, Back to the Future, the 40th anniversary, Star Trek, and different things. But they weren't celebrating Jaws just yet. And we were taking the tram ride at nighttime, and the whole Jaws village was lit up down there, so you could see it, and you could see that the shark was something's getting ready. And then Luke, didn't they announce this week they're doing a big Jaws celebration over there as well at Universal Studios?
Well, they've been using the shark as like the main promo and all that for the Summer Fest or something. So I assume that
something's getting ready to happen over there. And then, of course, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, the big Jaws celebration that starts there in September after this. We think it's like after the screenings that are happening later in the year. But let's talk about Martha's Vineyard. We are here to talk about Martha's Vineyard for those of us who are on the cusp of making up our minds of whether we're going out, because Cheeseman and me have both, and we have some friends. We've all been checking airline tickets. It's kind of a little bit on the pricey side, but not yet out of the question. So, Mike, let me ask you, where do you fly into?
We are flying into Providence, Rhode Island. You can either fly into Boston or Providence. Since once President Obama moved to the island after he moved, I was told the Wi-Fi got a lot better, and they expanded the airport. The only way you could fly to the island in the past was a little commercial plane, airline called Cape Air, which we all called Cape Scare. I'm pretty sure they use the same plane that Indiana Jones and Willie get away from at the beginning of Temple of Doom. They seat you by weight, and you got to sit in certain places. And the last time we were over there and we flew, the pilot said, "If you're interested, this is the same route John F. Kennedy Jr. was on." And I'm like, "Wow,
No,
kind of, yeah, I know." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." But now they do have not direct flights, but flights from on major airlines, American, and then now they're able to land. They don't have the big 747s, but they have the smaller DC-10s and stuff that they can land at the airport. So you don't have to. We're going to Providence because we're bringing a car over, so we'll take the ferry over from Woods Hole.
Okay, because Luke, jump in, because I know that you and we've been talking about questions in here, but there's an airport right on Martha's Vineyard, though, isn't there?
Yes.
Yeah.
So why not fly directly into Martha's Vineyard?
Price, probably.
Right, what do you,
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I looked, it was like 700 or 800 round trip to fly.
Oh, we were asking why not fly directly into Martha's Vineyard?
Because we're taking a car.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You're driving.
Yeah, we're renting a car in Providence, and it's a lot cheaper. What we're paying for the week would cover 2 days on the Vineyard.
Yeah,
Vineyard's very, very, very pricey for those of you if you're going. And I mean, a lot of it is because it's an island and they've got to ship everything over. But it's also a very fancy island, very touristy, and so you kind of expect to pay those prices.
yeah. Look,
what do you expect most people going will do? Like, I know, like, yes, some people are staying there, aren't in Martha's Vineyard, and maybe flying in there. But like, what are your suggestions for those people, or what do you think the people are flying into and where they're staying?
For normal people like us,
and how do they get to the island? Of course.
Yeah. Like I said, the best way, if you really don't need a car. We're having a car because it's my wife, my son, and his family.
Yeah.
Including 3 grandkids. But they have a great bus service, which is usually very reasonably priced. But actually, this summer the buses are free.
Really?
And you can get anywhere you want on the island in 20 minutes on the bus route. So a lot of people you can stay. You don't have to stay in Edgartown. We're in Chilmark, but you can stay in Vineyard Haven, Oaks Bluff. And get around. They have, taxi service. I assume they have Uber.
Now,
So
all
it's
cities
really,
you're naming, they're not on the island of Martha's Island, right? They're across.
Yes, they're all on the island. Yeah.
They are.
Martha's Vineyard is made up of, I believe, it's made up of 7 towns. Menemsha, where Quinn Shack was, Vineyard Haven, Oak Bluffs, Edgartown. Chilmark. There's 2 more.
Okay.
One of them, Jonathan Searle, the little kid with the fin in the film. He's now the chief of police there. So.
Oh, seriously?
Nice.
Well, I mean, because Luke, when we were looking, like, you're right. The prices of hotels on the island itself are pretty steep. I mean, I guess you could camp if you wanted to, but if you're not,
and the further you go in the season, the further you go in the season, the more expensive everything is.
Yeah,
I'm glad they're doing this in early June. Yeah, 4th of July on. It's just, and I understand. I mean, it's really, if you watch Jaws, they need summer dollars. That's their summer town. They make the 90% of their yearly income comes from Memorial Day through Labor Day.
Yeah.
But in 2005, we were there in June, and it was inexpensive. 2012, it was August, and everything was, kind of high.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, and it's not. I mean, you get what you pay. It's beautiful. All the housing is nice, and the streets are nice, and the people are nice. I'm not trying to keep people away, but just expect to. Yeah, it's not going to be like, going to somewhere on the mainland just because of the location, the destination.
Okay. For those of us who are super unfamiliar, very unfamiliar with the area. Okay, let's say I'm not going to stay on the island itself, which kind of.
But you want to be there during the day.
Yeah. So, like, you were talking. Here's a map of Martha's Vineyard, where most of the activity.
A map from 1975, right, Jim?
I'm sure
It looks like it.
Most of the activities on Martha's Island, Martha's Vineyard, taking place where?
Edgartown.
Okay. So that's over to the
Edgartown
left.
is the main city. Yeah, it's the main town on the island. That's where a lot of the film was shot.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other events, like the museum is in Vineyard Haven.
Okay.
The outdoor screening is on Katama.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, I guess the question was, like, we're looking at hotels right now with some friends. Probably the mainland. What's some of the better towns or the places that's easy access over to Martha's Vineyard?
Woods Hole, Hyannis, Chatham,
Mm-hmm.
Falmouth.
Mm-hmm. And these are all along the what's that area called? That's right across from Martha's Vineyard. The big island. It's
New England, the Atlantic. They're all along the Atlantic coast right there. And they're all close to ferries.
So how much the ferries cost? About what is it, like $70 a day or something like that? Is that
no? It's like, I want to say it's like very inexpensive, maybe $10 each way, if even that. It's been a while since I booked my tickets. But it's and it's just they have two ferries. The one from Hyannis is what they call a super ferry. Fast ferry gets you over there in like a half hour. The regular one, which is still the same one if in Jaws, when they with the da 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 da, that's the same ferry. So you're on a prop. That's like 45 minutes across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And you can sit in your car, or you can go up on the deck and look out. It's a nice trip, and June it's not going to be too cold to be on the water. But everywhere else, you can take the ferry over. I think the ferry runs till 10 at night.
Okay,
so you can, so if you go and you do a day's worth of adventure, you're not rushed. You can go to dinner, you can do that, and then just take the ferry back to if you're staying on the mainland.
Which part of the island does the ferry go to?
Goes to Vineyard Haven.
Okay.
Goes to Vineyard Haven and I think Oaks Bluff.
Okay.
Two different stops.
Is there
Vineyard Haven is more of a no. Like I said, wherever you're at, you're either where you stop at, you're like 10 minutes from 15-minute drive from Edgartown. So you can just drive right there, like take a bus. They have camping facilities that people that come and just want to camp out and stay there. Like I said, transportation is easy. The bus, taxis. It's very for what it is. It's very accommodating.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we got a couple of ferries. So the ferries are probably the way to, if you're going to be staying on the mainland, the ferries are the way to go. There's no other way to get over there unless you like charter a plane, right? Or helicopter.
Right. Unless you take a plane over or something like that. So most people take the ferry.
Do they have bike rentals and things to get around? Like if you wanted to get around the island on a bike or something?
Yes. Bike rentals, scooter rentals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for people who do take their cars over, is Martha's Vineyard again? Is modern Martha's Vineyard, is it jam packed with cars and it's lots of traffic, or is it pretty free flowing? How would you describe it?
You can get around, but there's not a lot of parking places.
Okay.
Like the dock where the Tiger Shark was. It's a big parking lot. Main Street is literally 2-lane. Everything's 2-lane. Even the highway going around is 2-lane. Go over the Jaws Bridge. But it's it's hard if you're planning on going down there. If you're driving, trying to figure out where you're going, try to get there early to get a parking space. If you don't have to drive, that's even a benefit, a bonus.
It sounds like you're kind of leaning that direction. I know that like me and Luke and a couple of friends, we'll head down to Key West in the Florida Keys, on like every year or so, and you never have a car down there. You rent a bike, and then you never see a motorized car inside of a motorized car until you leave and get on an airplane at the end of the week. And it sounds like you're kind of describing, once you get on the island, it's the same thing. You don't have to have a car. You can get around. Yeah. So good public transportation. You can grab a bike, grab a scooter. What about restaurants? There are plenty of restaurants on the island, I'm sure, for eating.
Plenty of restaurants, all locally owned. There is no fast food. There is no Walmart. There's a Dairy Queen that snuck on the island in 1967. That's the only quote unquote chain store. Edgartown Diner has great breakfast. The Wharf restaurant, good dinner.
Which one's the Jeffrey Gordon's restaurant?
Which one?
He was at the Wharf. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's retired, but he'll be there. He'll be there that weekend, but he doesn't work at the Wharf anymore.
Okay. Do they still have the Alex Kidner burger?
Yes.
Gotta get that. So as far as like airports, like people coming from like all around the US or other places, you mentioned maybe Boston or something, like what's a good airport to get into?
Boston or Providence are the two closest.
Mm-hmm.
Closest, how close are we talking?
About an hour and a half drive to the ferry.
So if for someone who's not renting a car, do you know if they have like transports from the airport out there?
They do not. You can take an Uber. You can take a cab. If you got a couple people going, you can share a ride.
Yeah. A car for a couple of days probably wouldn't be that bad. You just leave it over at the hotel and then take the ferries over, though. It's probably the way to do it.
Right. It would be cheaper to go to the airport, rent a car, drive to Woods Hole, and just park your car there.
Yeah.
Than it would be just to go over the island and rent a car.
Plus, if you need to be back by 10, maybe there's some cool, like, is there any good places that might be open past 10 that's like outside of the island? Because we would probably have to take the ferry back.
Yeah, they have a decent nightlife, especially over in Vineyard Haven. There's a great donut shop called Backdoor Donuts. About 1 a.m, you stand at the back door and they just bring them out hot and fresh.
That sounds awesome.
And they do have, it's certain parts of the island appeal to certain, like Vineyard Haven, would be, fun if you're, mid-20s up to your 40s, a little more rambunctious, a little more outside nighttime atmosphere. But yeah, it's really.
Just try not to get sprayed by a skunk on the way home, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Murray Hamilton.
Yeah.
You sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Luke, what other questions do you have?
Well, I mean, yeah, the hearing about the airport was great. Hearing, places to stay just on the outside and where we can get through the ferry and all that. Do you have any recommendations of certain days, like this is happening, or maybe go check out this part of the island because people might be looking at this filming location? Like, is there certain gathering moments or
Anything that
days
you're aware of
focused
that's
on?
that's not on the official schedule, maybe.
Really, the best part of about doing this is meeting up with friends and fans. I have a lot of, we've got almost 16,000 members on our Jaws 50 page.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you look, when you look at the members, I know 700 of them, they're quote unquote friends of mine. So there's 15,000 people that I have never met, that a lot of them are, not all of them are going to be there to say, hey, I want to meet you. I want to say hi. And that's the best part about these events, is because you're in your element. And you go to the different, they do have location tours.
Yeah.
In 2012, I actually did one. And there's a lot of resources online.
Right.
I believe the Chamber of Commerce has prepared it's like a virtual map you can download, and it'll tell you where, this is the town hall, this is Little Jaws, this is Brody's house.
Nice.
This is Menemshire, this is where Quinn Shack was.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, like, regardless of it being the 50th anniversary or not, I'm sure Martha's Vineyard has plenty of the touristy stuff already in place for the Jaws fans that make this a pilgrimage every year.
Oh, yes.
This is just going to be the biggest one they probably have had in quite some. Were you there, like, for the 25th anniversary? Or, well, you know what?
They didn't do a 25th. They did a 30th anniversary in 2005. And then in 2012, they did the 37th anniversary. That's only because that's the only time Universal would do something with them, because it was the 100th anniversary of Universal.
That's right. Oh, I get it.
So, yeah.
You know what?
So
I think it's in this past probably 10 years, 10 to 15, maybe even the past 20 years, it seems like fandom culture, people falling in love and wanting to experience and getting to inside and getting to know more about their favorite films, their favorite fandoms, has just grown. It's taken off. And we've always had like fan conventions and meetups and whatnot, but it does seem like it's kind of like become this thing where this 50th anniversary of Jaws, it just seems like everyone that I know out here on the West Coast in California is talking about it. It's such a big deal. And I think maybe this 50th anniversary, let's hope it's like one of the biggest ever. So I'm looking forward to it. And I like what you're saying about, you don't have to have a super packed or hour by hour schedule in front of you to enjoy the fact that you're on an island with hundreds, thousands of fans, and you're going to be finding things to do. You're going to be finding people to meet up with. Yeah.
And I always liken it to being a Star Trek fan and getting dropped off on the Enterprise. I mean, you just walk in the town, you just look up and say, hey, that's there. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in that town in 50 years. It's amazing. It's amazing how pristine they've kept it, and how they haven't given in to not corporate greed, but big corporations. And there's not a big Walmart there or a hamburger place or anything else. It's just a beautiful place to go. Even if Jaws had never existed, I'm glad I've been to the island.
Yeah. Wow.
Are you expecting any celebrities who aren't on the list to show up?
You said there's some surprises. Yep.
There's always somebody there. We were there once, and Tom Welling was there.
Oh, cool.
Adam Sandler's been there. Once we were Vineyard Haven, and Oprah's yacht pulled up. It didn't pull up; it was huge. But she landed on her little orange helicopter on the orange yacht and took a little orange boat in. Yeah, there's all kinds of celebrities there also, but I'm not sure. I think everybody that, as far as what I know, everybody that's going to be there has been announced. But you never know. They might just, surprise you.
I mean, it's the 50th anniversary. Everybody in the entertainment industry, everybody in the industry knows about it. It's making waves. Get it? It's making waves. Everybody is excited about it. It's regardless if they show up or not, everybody's aware of it. I gotta ask. So, my last question, before we jump off, and Luke, you can kind of wrap us up here towards the end. What are you drinking out of, Luke? Looks like one of those barrel. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, the
Oh, nice.
barrel has a top to it, so you can put like any kind of can or drink in there. But
Luke, what shirt are you wearing?
so this is a new Roosevelt shirt that just came out for the 50th anniversary.
Oh, is
I
that
made a little video if we wanted to show it. That's like less than a minute, but
yeah. Let's see the video
more.
real quick before we. Can you want to show it?
Sure. All right, let's see if this works.
Check this out. This is the new Roosevelt's Jaws shirt. Look, 50th anniversary on the tag. And there's just another little logo of the Jaws, but look at all the detail. Look at all these things here. You have Quint was right. You're gonna need a bigger boat. There's the orca, you got the shark, Amity Island, shark attack. You got the help shark girl. All sorts of awesome stuff. You always see something new when you look at it. This is a really cool shirt by Roosevelt's. Check it out.
I think that. Whoops, where'd we go? Let's bring us back. All right, that's pretty cool. I love that.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like the mayor's suit jacket shirt.
yeah,
I think I'm gonna order that one.
yeah. They have that one as well.
And I
Yeah,
did not realize that company was called Roosevelt. I always tell my wife, I said, see what RSVLT has on?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
you learn something. I think you learn something new.
Well, my question to you, Michael, and thank you for spending a half an hour with us tonight. I don't want to keep you much longer. What's your week going to look like? You don't need to tell us what your family activities are looking like, but you are an expert at Martha's Vineyard, at Jaws. What is your week going to look like? What are you going to be doing?
Let's see. Thursday we're doing Let's Talk Jaws Live, and then the baseball game. Friday I'm doing my book signing, and then just going to meet up with a bunch of fans. Saturday they're doing Jaws on the Water with the live orchestra. Not sure if I'm doing that yet. I also have to remember that I've got 5 family members who probably aren't as crazy about Jaws as I am. And then Sunday, spend the day at the museum, which will be very, very family friendly. And they're going to have food trucks. And my friend Gabe that owns Spicy Shark, he's bringing his blazer up, his Amity PD blazer. Friend of mine, Cord Cortino, I don't know if you know who he is. He built the Orca, the full scale replica of the Orca galley. He's bringing that. There's going to be all kinds of fun stuff.
All right, and you mentioned the 50th anniversary page. Where can people find this? Because I have a feeling this is the going to be the centerpiece of all the information people need.
It is Jaws on Facebook. It's Jaws 50, not Jaws 50th. Jaws 50, and let's see if I can bring this up real quick and give you the right logo. Yeah. So
Wait, let's do so.
That's the logo to look for.
All right.
Yeah,
Jaws
that's the logo
50.
to look for.
Right.
All kinds of stuff. Stuff with the Chamber of Commerce is posted there.
Yep.
The full schedule for the museum is posted there.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just going to be an amazing weekend.
Well, I'm excited. Hey, Luke, why don't you close this out? Go start. What?
What's all at the museum?
Well, they're doing a Jaws display. A lot of artifacts and photos, and an exhibit. Joe Alves is having a panel there. Christopher Shaw is.
Nice.
I'm doing something on Sunday. Jeff Kramer's doing something. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. It's not overwhelming. You don't have to do everything. So
Fantastic.
How many people do you expect to be there?
Time. Say again?
How many people do you expect to be there for Jaws Fest?
Well, let's see. 2005, they expected 500, and they got 3,000.
There we go.
2012, they did about the same. I can see an excess of 10,000 people showing up for this.
Wow.
It's not going to be like the Star Wars experience where 100,000 people show up. I mean, they just couldn't logistically. It couldn't logistically.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna, it'll be the, when by the time the 75th rolls around, I'll be 88. If they'll wheel me out to
well,
be
people
a
have
part of
to realize though that if you want to see some of the people who were involved with the original Jaws, this is the time to come do it. Don't wait to the 75th. Don't wait to the 60th. Wait, this is the time to come do it.
Yeah. Sadly, we're losing them much too quickly. Age is not our friend.
Nope. And we'll just be stuck with everybody from Jaws 4. So this is the time to come. Although that's not so bad. All right.
Luke. I just talked to Lance Guest the other day. Shame.
Did you really? Huh. I was in Hollywood. I saw him filming Jaws 4 on my senior trip out here in Hollywood, California. It was kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
They had the giant water feature with the giant sky behind it. It was like, really? That's Jaws 4, huh? It was kind of cool. Luke, you want to take us out?
All right.
I can do it.
Yeah. Go ahead and do it, Jim.
No, I didn't know if you had any other questions, Luke, before we let Michael go.
Oh, questions. What are you most looking forward to, Michael?
Yeah.
I think just seeing people. A lot of these people I haven't seen in 13 years, since 2012. And a lot of these people I've never met before. But I get all kinds of personal messages and emails and stuff from people. I read your book. I can't wait to meet you. Can I do this? Can we do that? It's just the fan community. Richard, my new book, Fanatics. There's a plug. Richard Dreyfuss wrote the foreword.
Wow,
and
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I knew he would understand what the book was about, and he nailed the foreword perfectly. But he credits what he calls the Jaws family. He says, "We made the film, you guys kept it alive." And that's what it is. It's been called the Jaws Army, but the Jaws family. Amity means friendship, and that's exactly what this group is of fans is. It's just amazing to put a face to a name, or find out, oh, I knew this, or I know that, or I know so and so. That's the best part. So I expect looking forward to a lot of hugging and a lot of handshaking, and just a lot of fun times.
That's awesome. Is there like a place you always go, like a location or restaurant every time you're there? Like a
we usually go to the wharf.
The wharf.
We usually go to the wharf for dinner at least once. A lot of times we'll just meet in front of the town hall. Just meet in front of the town hall or the Whaling Church, or down where Doc Nevin, who was the coroner, they have a medical plaza named after him.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's awesome. All right, Luke, last question, and then we got to wrap this up.
All right. Well, I just hope we could make it. And just any final recommendations?
No, come have fun. Say hi. Look me up.
We will do it. I plan to. Are you going to have your books there to purchase?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because a lot of times, folk, it's a lot of effort to take a bunch of books over to the island. So I'm glad you'll have them there to purchase. That'll be great.
Yes, most definitely. And if people, another shameless plug, if people buy the book and they want it signed, you can email me. I have special book plates that I made up for this book that I also made up for the Jaws 2 book that I will sign. Rather than spend $20 in postage back and forth, I'll just mail you a book plate.
And are they both on Amazon, or where can people find it?
They will be on Amazon. The Jaws 2 book is on Amazon. Fanatics will be on Amazon, and then the 50th anniversary of Edith Blake's book, that edition will also be on Amazon. I was able to find, I think, 36 never before published pictures, and they are in the book. So shortly after we did the 45th anniversary edition, Edith found more negatives in her house. And like she did with all her other stuff, she donated them to the Martha's Vineyard Museum. And then when the time came to do the 50th anniversary, I found out about them and reached out, and they allowed me to reprint them in the book. So there's some pictures there that people are like, whoa. They had I think they sent 90. And I think through Google Images, I think we found of those 90, 36 that had never, according to Google, never been published. So,
well,
Nice.
if Google doesn't have it, it doesn't exist. That's awesome. What's the name of that book?
it's called On Location on Martha's Vineyard: The Making of the Movie Jaws.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the updated version of Edith's book. Let me see. I've actually got the old Ballantine paperback here. So
good. Oh, wait.
It's that book.
Here, let me do this.
No.
All right. The making of.
It's
Very
that
cool
book
photo.
that has just been updated for the 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of
Awesome.
people probably have this book because it came out with the Jaws with the same time the Jaws log did.
Yep.
But,
And what's the name of your Jaws 2 book?
Jaws 2: The Making of the Hollywood Sequel.
Cool. And then Fanatics.
Fanatics: 50 Years of Jaws.
All right.
All right.
Go check those books out. Michael, thank you for joining us today. This has been fantastic. I want everyone who's watching to go check out Jaws 50, not 50th, Jaws 50
Right.
on Facebook. Join those 16,000 fans, and hopefully we will see everybody in Martha's Vineyard in about 5 weeks. But regardless if you make it to Martha's Vineyard or not, just continue to check out their page, their Jaws page, because you guys have more Jaws content than just about anywhere. It's a fun page. I really do enjoy it.
Thank you. And if those of you are not going to make it really quick, the Vineyard Gazette, the newspaper, they have put together a beautiful magazine showing a lot of old photos and stories from people that were on the island when they made the film. Their grandfather died, and they found a box of pictures in the attic. You can order it at the Vineyard Gazette. I think it's $17.99, but it's a beautiful magazine.
Oh,
So,
nice. Oh, awesome. All right. Anything else, Cheeseman, before we close out?
We're gonna have to write all this down.
I know. I had to go back and
Do
listen
a
to the
playback.
podcast. By the way this podcast started, for those of you who are watching, is we just got in touch with Michael saying we have some questions about logistics. I mean, that we were going to I was talking to Luke and said, let's just call Michael. Let's see if he can answer some of our questions so we can get over to Martha's Vineyard. Then I said, well, let's just record it. Everybody's got the same questions. So let's make a podcast out of it. Anyways, Michael, thank you so much. Again, if you guys want to continue to follow us here on The Con Guy, go to theconguy.com. You can follow us here. I am James D. Fry, also The Con Guy on Instagram. Cheeseman, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and X at Cheese on Couch, and also theconguy.com.
All right. And Michael, where can people follow you on social?
I am the First Movie Mike on X and on Instagram. We also have a Jaws 50 Instagram. And then you can find me on Facebook.
All right. Everybody, we will see you out at the 50th birthday party on Martha's Vineyard. We're out of here. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thanks for watching The Con Guy, the official program of theconguy.com. Find us on the Weeby Geeks Collective or anywhere you listen to podcasts.
It's up.